Okay.
We got a reading?
We certainly do.
All right, let's go. We're back again?
We are back.
How long's it been? I don't care. We don't just talk about anything all the time. We come when there's something to talk about.
Except for this time.
We will be discussing if there is something to talk about this time around. But before we do that, we have an announcement to make, right?
We certainly do.
Yes. Your boys here, the Destiny Duo, the two best minds in Kingdom Hearts, have been recognized as the two best minds in Kingdom Hearts. Maybe. We've been nominated for the Million Dreams Award for news and podcasts. The KH community gets together and votes for their favorite Kingdom Hearts creators. And we're on the bracket.
We're very thankful to be nominated, and now it's up to our loyal viewers to decide if we really are the two greatest minds in Kingdom Hearts history.
And listen,
perhaps.
Awards aren't everything, right? How many Oscar movies have you seen in your life? Very little.
Probably at least 5. Yeah, very little.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, there are at least 100 because there's 100 Oscars, but you've not seen every movie that's won an Oscar.
No.
But it's always nice when a movie or the content you love is recognized. And this is less for us and more for the fans who want to see us become the greatest minds in Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, this is for all you loyal viewers who sat through all the tier lists and the tier list, the other tier list,
and the wrong theories and discussions,
which could still be right.
Could still be right. We're not counting ourselves
There's
that.
still time.
And it relates back to this, so we'll discuss that later. But yeah, there's a link in the description. Vote for us in news and podcasts, the Destiny Duo. We'll very much appreciate it. And even if you lose, you'll still get all the content you want, because hey, there's always next year.
I see you clicking on the link down there. Good job. I see it.
Yeah.
Good job.
This is a little bit down. No, not that one. Not that one.
No,
Destiny Duo.
I see your mouse over there. Bring it right down there and vote.
Let's leave them alone. We don't want to pressure them. Let's keep this fair, all right? The other contestants don't have omnipotence that can see where they're clicking. It's not fair. Today we're here to talk about something. Maybe.
Certainly one of the most mobile games of all time.
Yes, we're talking about Missing Link.
Unfortunately, it's only one of those things.
Yes, it's not a link. It's not leaking anything at the moment because
No.
Yeah, I don't even know where to start with this because we're here to talk about if this thing's even coming out. Like, it probably is, but is it?
Well, so this all started at the 20th anniversary thing, right?
I think so. I looked it up before we got on a call. The first trailer came out April of last year.
Yeah, so that was part of the 20th anniversary.
Yeah.
So, which I don't think we knew anything about this before that. I think maybe we might have had a hunch there was another mobile game coming, but I don't even know if we knew that. So,
yeah, because Dark Road I think already finished before it was announced.
Maybe. I don't remember now.
Let me look it up real
quick.
quick.
It's been so long.
Yeah,
it's been a long year.
Look that up real quick. Yeah, it's been a very long year.
Yeah, when did our video come out?
Good question. Looks like that happened instead. The September 5th, 2022.
Yeah, so that would have been after.
Yeah, would have been after. Okay. Yeah, because it says here at least this trailer came out April 10th, 2022. But we had no context for what Missing Link would have been about. Well, I guess we did have the ending of Unchained Key, which teased Scala and showed Brain. So it's been around for a while, like over a year. We do have some things about it, and apparently there was a beta test in January.
Like, I think a closed beta in Japan.
Yeah, for like 3 days, like 15th to the 18th. I had to go looking for like stuff about that because there was like, even as a Kingdom Hearts fan, as like part of the system, there was nothing about it on my radar.
It didn't get that much talk, I feel like, considering like the way that like things tend to blow up in the Kingdom Hearts community, especially the point we're at now with the franchise. Like, we're really like digging for any details we can find on anything just to try to figure out what's coming next. There's a lot of mystery in the story, like who are the foretells, all that stuff. So if you get any crumbs of anything, that's gonna get blown up and like really analyzed. But I feel like there wasn't really much of that with this when that like beta thing came out. I had to like go back and keep being like, wait, did that actually happen? Like, I kept forgetting about it.
Yeah, because I was memeing that Missing Link's gonna be garbage because it's like, usually when it comes to Kingdom Hearts stuff, no matter what it is, they'll hype it up. Like, no matter what. This has been so silent and so nothing. People are legitimately asking, is this thing even coming out? It's not like they're gonna abandon it, but there's some things that lead me towards they're resisting. My main thing is Dark Road. Like, that was a failure in terms of, like, making money. Because, like, of course, Kingdom Hearts Key, I assume made so much money, because that was pretty big.
That had to have made, like, a lot of money. And that went on forever.
Yeah, it went on forever. It was really big, really popular. You always saw stuff, had intense lore, which people would come back. But then Dark Road came out. And that, even comparatively, even not, was a failure. Because they gave up halfway through. And
it was on the same, like, app as Unchained Key. So it's not like you had to run and download some other thing and people just didn't know about it. Like, it was in the same app. And people just didn't... The gameplay was, like, different and not good. And I think people just kind of gave up on that really quickly. So then the, franchise gave up on it really quickly. And then they're just like, here, we'll just release the rest of this as a movie.
Yeah.
There you go.
And I think, and that kind of, to me, might set a precedent for, like, if shit's not hitting like it needs to, then they're just gonna not give up on it, but, like, wipe it away, but just, like, here's everything. Because there's going to be lore in Missing Link. There kind of has to be, because we're in a very specific time in Kingdom Hearts lore history. That's, like, seemingly very, very important to, like, Xehanort, the Foreteller. The Lost Masters arc, period, might rely on this.
Yeah, I mean, by definition, like it's called Missing Link because it's the missing link between Union Cross and Dark Road, and then that connects the entire, like, rest of the Kingdom Hearts timeline.
I kind of thought that, but then you gotta explain it. I'm like, oh yeah, because we pretty much have it all mapped out, except for that little piece in the middle between the ending of Key and the beginning of Dark Road, because we don't know who the Hooded Man is, Brain's whole story. Scala Asylum right now is a blind spot for the Kingdom Hearts lore, because we don't have much anything about it except for some of the residents, like, of course, Xehanort, Odin, Ericus, and everyone who lived there and died there.
Yeah, we kind of know the generations that were in Dark Road a little bit. Other than that, we really just have when Brain shows up at the end of Union Cross, but even he's, like, time displaced.
Yeah,
seemingly. I'm sure that the idea is that Missing Link will not only cover what happens to Brain from the time he arrives in Scala up through, or at least to set up maybe Odin or something like that, to kind of give an idea of what happens up to that generation. I assume that Brain will learn about how Scala was formed, what Ephemer's involvement, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and, like, why Xehanort is special. Because we saw the end of Dark Road that he was taken from Scala by the hooded figure, whoever that might be. We'll find out, hopefully, in Missing Link. My theory for that is, like, we did say in the past that it was Brain. I've changed my opinion on that more recently, because I think the person we're playing as in Missing Link is, like, the reincarnation of the Kingdom Hearts Key protagonist.
Right.
And then they become the old man and take Xehanort to the island, and then Bob's your uncle, the rest of the story happens.
The character we play as in Key and Union Cross becomes Xehanort.
Well, we thought that initially, but then I watched it again. I think it was a fake out. Because I think it's because we assumed that because it was reincarnated that it would be a child. But we don't know the time span that took. So that could be 100 years later, and the protagonist was reincarnated 20 years later, and now they're 80. Because I went back and looked at the ending of Dark Road, he does mention everyone, including Brain, which I think we missed, but the protagonist. And then I saw a bunch of, like, theories saying that. I'm like, okay, I think I can adapt. We still might be right, because we don't know what happened to Brain. And he's in the trailer for Missing Link, so we probably will get the rest of his story, or at least maybe what he's doing now in the series. I've changed my mind on that. But again, we don't know because Missing Link isn't out, and for feature, we don't know when it's coming out, and that's, like, an issue.
I could be wrong, but I feel like they gave, like, a time frame before, but obviously they've done that in the past with, like, Dark Road, of, like, hey, this is coming, like, this winter, or like this, whatever, and then it didn't. So, I don't know. I mean, on the one hand, though, I do think, like, maybe in a way, no news is good news, in the sense that, like, I'd rather them come out and be like, hey, this is coming out this day, when it's going to come out that day, instead of continuing to be like, oh, maybe it'll come out in the winter, and then it's like March, and then it's like, oh, actually, maybe next winter, maybe.
So yeah, it's never been delayed. Like Kingdom Hearts 3 has never been delayed.
Right.
They just said we're working on it, and then 5 years later we got the first this year probably. So I was doing some research about it. Like the two best mind Kingdom Hearts need to do their research 5 minutes before we record. Yes,
of course.
So I have a few things open. This was the most important thing.
Well, I hadn't considered that.
That might be video for the future.
That might be. Maybe.
Let's hold off on this. This is about missing Link.
Yeah, let's stay focused here.
So yeah, I was just looking through it. And it's mostly about doesn't really have that much in it. It's just like people complaining, where is it? And it's not towards the end where Nomura claimed back in February that development was around 50% done. Back in, I guess, February of this year. It was like 50% done.
Okay.
And it's only been, we're almost done the year, kind of. So I didn't know Nomura was involved in it, to be honest. I didn't think he would be, involved in it. I thought he'd be just the story guy. Oh, here's another thing. We got the Kingdom Hearts Kingdom Hearts 4 trailer before Missing Link came out.
Well, yeah, because those trailers came out at the same time.
Did they?
Yeah, it was part of the same thing. Yeah. I think so. Yeah, it was the Missing Link trailer came out first.
Oh, I thought Kingdom Hearts 4 came out, but it's still weird.
Yeah, it is weird
because especially because Dark Road, as far as we're aware, doesn't connect a lot to the series, and more just explains Xehanort stuff. And maybe about Master of Masters. Again, we don't really know until we get further in the future connects back. It almost has the crux of the series, it's a temple of the series right now for the next arc. Yeah,
it just, like I said, it bridges the two kind of eras together. Obviously, when we show up to Scala in 3, it's like, oh wait, it's like nobody's there.
Yeah, it's empty.
There's got to be a reason for that. Hopefully, maybe Missing Link will kind of show maybe some kind of downfall of Scala, or maybe that's not even the real Scala. And
that's up in the air as well, because
something else.
We did the one piece of news we got was the art that came out, and everyone blew their load because, oh wait, Missing Link still exists. Okay, they made art for it, so it's official. It's giving Bloodborne, as we can see here, which might be cool, but even though it looks nothing like we saw in the trailer, so might be a tone problem there. Because I do like this vibe of kind of a more insidious look at the Keyblade history.
Yeah, sort of a dark gothic look a little bit.
Yeah,
and the architecture.
And it's still Scala because we can see up top there are kind of the designs of the buildings of Scala. So this is more the seedy underbelly, the not red light district, but the boroughs of the Scala system. There's a hierarchy to the Keyblade system.
Yeah, and that's one of the things I think that is really interesting that Missing Link has the opportunity to explore is I believe 3 ended before Union Cross, or 3 came out before Union Cross ended.
Yeah.
3 was our first look at, okay, this is what Scala is, the pearly white, sort of marble islands type of deal everywhere. Oh, that's crazy. And then Union Cross ending comes out, and Brain is time displaced and wakes up in Scala, and it looks like this image from Missing Link.
Mm-hmm.
And it was this dark brick gothic looking place, and then it's kind of okay, both of these places are Scala. What happened? Why did they look different? What's the deal? And then also, obviously in 3, when you show up, nobody's there. That could be because nobody is there, or that could be because it's part of Xehanort's mind or something. It could be a whole other thing. But obviously nobody's there.
Yeah.
And in when Brain gets there in Union Cross, he's approached by a guard, and there's obviously like you said, a hierarchy, and there's seemingly a government or social system, or it gives the impression that this place is super populated, and that there's a lot going on here, really in depth and intricate. So it's if it is deserted, how does that happen, and what's the time frame, and why does the architecture and all that change? And the other thing I wouldn't put past it, because this image here and the stuff from Union Cross when Brain gets there, like you said, it's very dark looking, that kind of stuff. And then when we see it in 3, it's pure white, which makes me think of the Master of Masters plan to eradicate the universe in pure light and restart it or whatever. So I almost wonder if that's sort of a part of that, and maybe he had a hand in, you know, maybe this was a small scale test or something like that.
That's interesting.
We already know Luciu was there in Dark Road the whole time, so
whatever body he's in at that moment. The contrast between something like this, even in the ending of Key and Kingdom Hearts 3 and Remind, because we got to explore even more of it in Remind, is very different. But there are multiple, at least 3 islands of Scala. Xehanort took us to where the island his school was at. I'm like pretty sure. It might be those were his school grounds, and it's empty because the ending of Dark Road, I'm pretty sure almost everyone died but Odin, Ericus, and Xehanort.
You know, and maybe that gets into like, okay, like what did they do after that? Like, did they stop teaching? We know Ericus, you know, went off to the land of departure at some point.
Yeah.
And took on a couple of pupils after that, but...
And Odin retired.
Yeah.
Odin retired, so he wasn't going to teach anymore. Xehanort, thankfully, hopefully didn't teach anybody anything. Terra was his only student, and he pretty much just groomed him, so...
Yeah.
That is an interesting question of, like, Scala in itself, and how, like, important it is outside of Xehanort, because we've only really seen Scala through the eyes of Xehanort, who is a newbie there. He was, like... a late addition. So it's almost a fish out of water kind of view. He doesn't know the history. I doubt he really cares. So Missing Link would be an in-depth, here is a history of Scala, front to back, with Brain and Luciu running around doing things and probably doing something to the history of it. We don't know if the Master knows anything about it, which he probably does. We don't know what Luciu's plan with it is. We don't know what Brain's going to do with it. But Missing Link is so important to discover all of that. So we touch upon some of the lore stuff, but I did find some stuff about the gameplay. Right here. So this is a tweet I found in an article, and this is from the beta test. And I did see some tweets saying, oh, the beta test didn't go well, so they're scrapping it. I couldn't find anything to back it up, because I don't believe random checkmark tweets. So but I did find this, who's like a kind of reputable source, and kind of gave, of course it gives the art, but also some screenshots we haven't seen before. It looks like this, which, it looks good for a phone game. Who knows what kind of the iPhone 20 you'll need to actually play it well. But you know, we got a behemoth. I don't know, there might be a new kind of Heartless. The map looks very sim-ish.
Yeah.
So hopefully that's not the peak of it, and hopefully that's not Scala. But my main thing was this list here. And we can just go through it. So the game content, Dear Beloved title song, seems to be the one picking trailer. Did Kingdom Hearts Key have a Dearly Beloved?
Yeah, I think they all did. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, everything. So it's on brand. Graphics are really good for a smartphone game. I do think it's interesting that they've moved to the CG graphics. I guess you have to in this type of gameplay with what it looks like. You don't have to, but yeah. I see the vision. I see what they're thinking. I see the vision too, but it's like Missing Link wasn't an action game. It was more of like a tap your phone emblem, and even Dark Road, even though it sucked, was like the card thing, because that kind of stuff is okay on a phone, especially for like a gacha system. This is like playing Fortnite on your phone a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure exactly how the like combat and that kind of stuff works. I think maybe it also could be that they're transitioning from the 2D type art to the 3D models, so that if and when these characters show up in 4, it's a little bit like more seamless. Not that that was really an issue before, but I could see that maybe being part of it.
Because at least the art style of Dark Road and Key was like unique. And, like you could tell, okay, this is phone game stuff. So like moving over to the 3D stuff, which is like Kingdom Hearts 3, and like it says there, it's made in like the Unreal 4 in the Unreal Engine. And like we have 4, no one ever questioned what Stretch is going to look like, because we have that general point of view, and then we see here in Kingdom Hearts 4. I personally don't see any reasoning in, besides maybe testing for further games down the road. I don't know. Let's see, there's a CG opening, which could be cool. Do you think it's going to be Sanctuary or Simple and Clean?
I mean, I don't think we'll get either one of those, but actually, it might be one of the ones from 3. Or did we get a new one for 4 already?
No, we haven't got a new one for 4 yet.
I think we got some song for 4, I feel like.
There's no way in hell I missed that. No way in hell I missed that.
Well, like something in the trailer, like maybe.
Well, the trailer didn't really have like an opening. It had music, but it didn't have the opening song music. That's usually,
it wasn't like the opening song.
That's usually reserved for like the first gameplay trailer.
I don't know, but because I know like in the post Kingdom Hearts 1 era, you got a lot of the other games still had Simple and Clean, I think.
Yeah, and 358 had Sanctuary. But But that might be because it was related to so much, so that might... Usually Simple and Clean. Or like a remix. Yeah, or a remix Simple and Clean, like Point 2. 3D did have an original opening, but it wasn't an orchestration of Simple and Clean.
Yeah, I don't know. And that one, like, yeah, you go back to the time of Kingdom Hearts 1, so... But this
is more related to 3, though. So it might be Face My Fears.
Yeah, or the other one from 3.
Well, that's more of an ending song than an opening song.
Not the other one.
Think twice. Don't think twice. So screen can be... Oh, there's a stained glass... So there is a dive to the heart, which is kind of standard for most Kingdom Hearts games.
Yeah, that makes sense. That can also be similar to the Union Cross, like, choose your, like, clan, or whatever they were called. The unions, I guess. Yeah,
because I think most games have dive to the heart, even if it's not, like, plot relevant. It's just like... Because even BBS did. It was like, oh, pick your character inside the dive to the heart kind of thing. Screen can be used horizontally or vertically depending on the mode. That's just phone bullshit.
Sure.
Yeah, phone bullshit.
I appreciate that.
Story quests will be available once the game launches. Okay, so we get lore right off the bat.
I also wonder maybe if part of the reason it's taking so long to come out is maybe they don't want the problem Union Cross had, where you would get story bits, and then, like, a year later, another story bit would come out, and it was just so delayed between. And maybe they don't even release it all at once, but maybe it's just, like, we have it all done, or at least, like, most of the way done, so that we can release them weekly or monthly or whatever.
That's very possible.
So that people can keep up with it.
Yeah.
Because I think that was probably one of the bigger complaints about Union Cross, is like, if you didn't stay up on it, you could get into it for a while. That's what happened to me, is I would get into these, like, phases where I'd be into it and play it for a while and would get caught up in the story, and then nothing new would happen for months and months. And then I would get back to it, and then there'd be, like, 400 missions added. 10 of them would have cutscenes, and then I would, like, forget what happened within the last year. And it was, like, kind of crazy, so that could definitely be part of it too.
Yeah, and Dark Road kind of had the opposite problem, where they had the story and lore lined up, but they realized no one was going to play through all this just for the lore, so they released all of it at once. So you probably want to find a good middle for Missing Link. You're probably right about that. Because if we're getting lore right off the bat, besides just opening story stuff, that's big. Because you got people like me who are probably just going to wait for KH Insider to post all the cutscenes and make lore videos about it, because there's no way I'm playing a phone game. That's another thing, right? So I did some research, because they say it's going to be like Pokemon Go-esque. And I'm like, that's fucking stupid. Because Pokemon Go can only be Pokemon Go because it has Pokemon in it. Going around and getting Pokemon is the key of Pokemon, even in the games, just in a fake world, but put in the real world. That's hype. Kingdom Hearts never had any of that. It had to go in different worlds. If it was, oh, you go to Disney World, and if you go in Epcot, you get a special mission or a special costume. That could be cool. But I'm not going outside to play Kingdom Hearts. That was never like the point of Kingdom Hearts. And so I'm like, why would they do this? So I did some research. How big was Pokemon Go in Japan? Because you gotta think, Japan really has the worldwide market in mind. Usually, they only had the Japanese market in mind. And like, us weebs can be, they're like, oh, we'll feed something to the weebs. But they mostly care about Japan. Apparently, Pokemon Go was very successful in Japan. Over 3 times America, which is second place. And that's insane. So I get it more from a business standpoint. Because Kingdom Hearts Key was a gacha system. And gacha is big everywhere, especially Japan. And especially encourage people to spend money. So I got that. I was pissed about it, but I'm like, you know what? I get it. They can do this. And so I get it now, because gacha is still like a thing, but I think since everyone got tired of Dark Road, they're like, we might need to why might I want to change it up? So, and since Pokemon Go is apparently so big in Japan, they're like, okay, let's make it a Pokemon Go clone. So I'm gonna withdraw my ignorance, being like, Pokemon Go, you guys are dumb. I should be in charge of Kingdom Hearts. I know better than all of you. You get your research over at the Destiny Duo. That's why we're the best news and podcasts. This is some Dateline shit.
We're pulling out the charts nobody else has.
I pulled out the economics. What other channel has economics in Kingdom Hearts, okay? Alright, so back to the list. Jewels are back. Gacha as well. So they are still adding gacha elements to this. Because If it ain't broke, don't fix it. So as someone who did play Key, the jewels were the money system in that game.
Yes, yeah. So that was the like the currency that you could pay real money for and use on stuff. I will say, in my experience with other mobile games and such, Union Cross seemed to be one of the ones that you get a pretty good amount for free. Like, I personally never spent any money on them because I just don't. That's not really my wheelhouse, but you could get a good amount, and like they had a lot of like deals and events and stuff where you could get like a ton of jewels and just for like logging on and that type of stuff. So like I didn't feel like I was like missing out the way that like there's some games out there that if you play and you try it and like you don't spend money on them on like their in-game currency, like you feel like you like might as well not be playing the game because you can't get anything, or even worse, like you're worse at the game because of it.
Yeah.
The only thing was sometimes like I felt like, and this may just because I didn't play it super like consistently, but definitely as the story progressed, you needed stronger and stronger medals. So you'd had to like buy the packs, but I could buy packs. Like I would log on, like in the end stages of that game, I had like probably tens of thousands of jewels. That I had never like paid money for. I got them through other things, so they definitely gave them out a pretty good amount.
Okay, so at least they're fair with it, because you're right. Something like Genshin Impact, you kind of need to spend money to even enjoy that game. And from what I've never played, but what I've seen of it, I might be ignorant. I don't know. Yeah, a lot of gacha systems are like that because they want you to spend money. They want you. That's the point of a gacha system. It's gambling. Like, I want this pack or this medal, so I'm gonna spend money on it. But from what you're saying, it's like they're pretty generous with it, and maybe if you want to get like big dick Kingdom Hearts Key Boy, you spend some money on the side to get the good medals and shit.
Yeah, because like I think about like certain like sports games where if you want to like build your team online, if you don't spend real money on it, you're not gonna like you need to have insane luck, and even then like you're just gonna be behind on getting stuff. Where it's like on that one, I think maybe part of it too is that you're not playing against anybody else. They give you enough to buy medal packs pretty often. It more so became a like thing of like my own patience, I guess, so to speak. Of like if I'm playing the game in like February and they're like, oh, there's this special Kingdom Hearts 2 Sora medal that you have a 1 in 10 chance of getting, and and I have all these jewels like that they've given me. I can spend those jewels trying to get that, but then a year later those medals that I got might not be as strong as some of the new ones that have come out, so you kind of have to balance that. But I'm not spending my own money on that, so I don't care as much about having to worry about that balance.
A Disney property that doesn't gouge you for your money. Interesting. I mean, the phone game might be a blind spot for them.
Yeah, hopefully they haven't figured it out.
Yeah, hopefully they never will. Lots of familiar items and materials from the Cage series are back. Maybe like potions, ethers, something like that.
Yeah, probably.
That's kind of irrelevant, because who knows how relevant that's going to be to the gameplay of it. Several new items as well, which could, being optimistic here, leading to KH4. Like, oh, an item in Missing Link is going to be in 4, or something like that. Just connect it.
Yeah.
Even like minutely. Even the story stuff doesn't hit in Kingdom Hearts 4 yet.
Yeah, even if it's not story related, if it was like something like a Phoenix Down type of item, that's like, I don't think there's anything like that in Kingdom Hearts that I can think of.
There are no Phoenix Downs in Kingdom Hearts.
There could be a similar item to that they introduce in this. I don't know.
So, the next one is one that we probably all guessed: player customization. Clothes, accessories, hairstyles, eyeliner, eyeshadow, blush, hair color, different colored eyes, random stuff. I wonder how in-depth it's going to be, because a problem with something like this where like everyone's going to have the same face on like different skin. Like the black one, the Latino one, and the white one's going to all have the same face. And it's like, well, what's the point of this?
It'll probably be mostly just like the ones from customization from Union Cross. But I do always think about that customization in 0.2.
Yeah. That
was supposedly going to be in 3. That was not in 3.
Yeah, that's what reminded me of when I first read this. I'm like, yeah, the only time we've seen that is Kingdom Hearts 0.2 Factory Passage. And it wasn't in 3, but like, it might have been a Disney thing to where like, oh, we have this Pirates of the Caribbean hag. Oh, you can't take that to Toy Story or something stupid like that.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Because that'd be cool. Like, there's probably already mods on PC of like, you can be Toy Story Sora in Monsters Inc. or Pirates of the Caribbean world. It also leads me to think that maybe this also adds to the theory it's a reincarnated Kingdom Hearts Key character. Just because like, oh, it might look to, you people usually make it look the same-ish. So like, oh, it could be a reincarnation, who knows. The ending could be like you're on Destiny Island with young Xehanort, and if the player character is the old man, takes off the hood and it's your character.
Yeah, in whatever weird shit you're wearing.
Just maybe a wrinkle map, just looking old, just looking older, and then you keel over and die. It's two games. Two games. You can see your player character just die right in front of you.
Yeah.
And they're just reincarnated again to Sora, or maybe I don't know. Switching between GPS and trackpad modes is very convenient. I don't know what that means.
So, from what I've heard, or what it seems like, which I think is interesting for this game, seemingly, so with Pokemon Go, obviously it's just GPS related, so you physically have to walk around everywhere. What I've heard is that with Missing Link, what people have been saying is that there is that GPS component where you can get up and walk around your town or neighborhood or whatever, or there's the trackpad element, which is, the little button comes up on the screen and you can just move your character around from the comfort of your own home. So you can kind of do both, or whichever is more convenient.
So what's the point? Who's gonna go outside and play Kingdom Hearts?
I don't know if this was just a rumor or what it was, but I do think at some point somebody had mentioned that like it would cost some type of jewels or something to like a certain degree to use the trackpad, but I don't know if that was ever true or if that was just speculation.
I gotta pay to not go outside. Outside is expensive enough. Now I gotta pay to stay in my own room.
You're gonna touch grass or else. Else it's gonna cost you.
But, okay, if this is true, I do like this, and hopefully that's not what you just said isn't true, because I have no incentive to go outside to get lore. I think that's stupid. If the game is okay to play, I might give it a chance, but there's no way I'm going outside for it. So I do like they might have even thought of that, because I do think they're not dumb enough to be like, no, people will go outside for Kingdom Hearts. It's that big, it's that important, it'll be just like Pokemon. They're not that stupid. Changing Keyblades will change battle styles, which I think is cool and could be a good future system for new Kingdom Hearts games. Maybe.
Yeah, that feels like an extension of the like Keyblades
form
styles
changes
from 3.
But it's also like it could extend that. I still want form changes. They're pretty cool. But also like you fight differently with not even like every Keyblade, like, oh, this type of Keyblade, like you get a fast Keyblade, you get a bulky Keyblade, you get a middle Keyblade, something like that, and you can change your styles.
They've had them in different lengths in the past, and it just kind of, you still fall the same, but I see what you mean. Yeah, but actually have it change up how you fight a little bit.
Yeah, unlocking different combos and stuff. That could be pretty cool. Because another thing about this might be just like a demo-ish for KH4, maybe not gameplay, but like ideas.
Yeah, just concepts, see how everything meshes.
Yeah, because who the fuck knows how far along Kingdom Hearts 4 is? They might still be writing that motherfucker. Or talking with Disney lawyers about that motherfucker.
Yeah.
What do we hear about first? Kingdom Hearts 4 or Missing Link?
I don't know. And that's actually a good point, is I don't know if it matters if Missing Link comes out first. I think originally Dark Road was supposed to have stuff come out before Union Cross ended or something, and then that got like switched up. That stuff has happened before where things take place at, like Union Cross obviously ended after 3 came out, and that kind of ties into it in some ways, and like I wouldn't be that surprised if if that was the case with 4, maybe that maybe Missing Link doesn't even come out until after 4. Maybe it comes out before, but it's not done until after 4 comes out. And
4 is a minute away, because
oh yeah, definitely,
because we had Final Fantasy 16 this year, we have Final Fantasy Rebirth next year, and then I think that's the year of Kingdom Hearts 4. So we might get a trailer, or like the marketing might start up in next year. If this wasn't coming out before KH4, they might as well just scrap it. Because there's no point in waiting that long.
Yeah, I think it'll probably come out before. I don't know if it'll be done its cycle.
The only thing I can see being necessary is the Lucio stuff. Because now Lucio is a big player. We need to know about how he works. As far as we know, Xehanort isn't a figure anymore. It kind of just he helps fill in gaps to like maybe future lore. But Lucio is still important. And I feel like that's gonna not only connect Key to Dark Road, but Lushu's story up until, well, I guess there's still missing gap of Lushu between Dark Road and Birth by Sleep, so we might figure that out maybe in 4. But this is important for Lushu, I think, because he is prominently in the trailer. Well, as far as we assume that's Lushu.
Yeah, I think you're right. He's going to touch on some of that stuff. But I do think part of it, too, is, like, it finishing after 4, I think helps, is, like, definitely part of how Kingdom Hearts builds, like, the mystery around everything.
Mm-hmm.
I could see the first part of Missing Link in that scenario, you know, like, answering some questions about Lushu, maybe, or, like, how the Master got to, or seemingly got to Shibuya, or any of those other kind of questions. And maybe that bleeds into 4. 4 comes out, and then after that, Missing Link comes out with more stuff that just builds more questions and that type of stuff.
Well, maybe that's also why it's delayed, because they want to link it to KH4 near the end, so they need to, like, fix up 4. I mean, like, write more 4 and see how it connects. We're giving them a lot of excuses.
Yeah.
We're coping right now. So next we have, like, the section of GPS movements. If you walk while you're playing, your character will move in real time too. I call cap on that. That's like some spy tech shit. There's no way it can tech me that good.
Oh, no, that's just like the Pokemon Go shit. That's just saying that, like, it'll follow you.
Oh, I thought it was like, when I step, it steps. That would freak...
Probably not exactly, I don't think.
That would freak me out.
That would be kind of wild.
You'll receive 8P from battles, which I assume wait. If there's jewels... What AP be used for? I guess AP is like the...
I would think maybe that's like for special attacks. That maybe you like have to like keep playing battle, like, so that way you can't just spam special attacks. You have to like build up AP to use them, and so you have to keep playing to get more AP, and then it's like a cycle.
Okay. There's a hands-free mode that lets you battle automatically. Pretty sure Dark Road had that, right?
Yeah. That might... I don't know if that's a good sign, but... Yeah, Dark Road had an auto mode where it would just play the game for you, so you could just grind up, but yeah. It feels like that's like a, hey, our game sucks, but you want to beat it, so just turn that on and then come back when the cutscene starts playing.
I don't want to say it's like, okay, our game sucks. It's more just like, oh, it's kind of... Like all gacha games, kind of grindy, so you gotta spend money or not even spend effort. Just spend time with your phone in the corner watching Netflix or something, or playing Kingdom Hearts, and just grind up some jewels or something. I appreciate that. They take my laziness into account, where I don't want to go outside and I don't want to play the game to get the lore. Maybe I'll actually watch the lore on the phone instead of on KH Insider.
Whatever it is, I do appreciate that if it's grindy, I have the ability to just be like, oh, do that for me. There you go. Now I can, you know, set that on my phone and I can try to beat Izora for 6 hours and not do it, and then maybe I'll be level, 50 and Missing Link by the time I'm done.
That's an excellent way to think about it. You're so optimistic. Okay, this is the main Pokemon Go shtick bullshit, alright? Based on a location and weather there, you may encounter different types of Heartless.
Yeah.
Who cares? Different Heartless give you different things, maybe? Or if you beat...
different drops.
If you beat a Shadow on 420 in the middle of New York, you get 4,200 jewels or whatever.
Yeah, something like that. Or just like, if it's raining, you get like the water dudes from 3.
That makes more sense than mine.
Yeah.
You're the logical one in this crew.
I try, maybe if you're by like a military base, it's like all soldier Heartless.
Pokemon had the right to be like, we're putting over the world. You can only get Mr. Mime in France. You can only get Kangaskhan in Australia. Do they have the goal to be like, you need to go to Canada to get this Heartless for this prize? That's what we say.
I don't think it'll be that extreme. There will probably almost definitely be some like location specific, especially in Japan, I would think. I don't think it'll make as much of a difference.
Because I can see this being a big thing in Japan, where it's like, oh, if you go to the countryside, you get this Heartless, go to Shibuya, you get this Heartless, and maybe a special thing. Maybe in America, because Disney's involved, you go to New York, you go to here, but I don't know how big the European market for Kingdom Hearts is. I didn't do that research. And I'm pretty sure they're not like, again, not stupid enough to be like, it's to extend a Pokemon Go. I have trouble grasping what is the incentive to even go outside and play it like Pokemon Go at this point. When we see here, they have capitulations for people like me who don't want to do that bullshit. So what's even the point? Or are they going to give up halfway through like it is in Dark Road?
Yeah, I think it just might be like, I think it'll be less extreme than Pokemon, to where it's like, oh, you can't get this type of Pokemon unless you go to a different country. I think it might just be like, hey, like it might still be like, oh, you're not going to see this type of Heartless in certain places, but the more important thing is like, oh, maybe you need this certain drop, and maybe different Heartless will drop it. So while you might not get, you know, whatever specific Heartless in your area, you'll get a different one that drops the same thing maybe, or something. I don't know.
Because also Pokemon Go didn't have an overall story to it. It's just like a sandbox of collect, battle, whatever. This has actual story tied to it. So they can't hide stuff behind, you need to defeat this Heartless and get this drop, so you gotta go here.
Yeah, you have to actually go to Shibuya to fight Lushu to beat the game.
I might do that. But yeah, so I think it'll be like an outside fun thing you can do if you want, but it doesn't ultimately matter to the overall progress. That'd be ridiculous. So trackpad movements, characters can move using a virtual trackpad. So pretty much like a Game Boy. Maybe at that point it doesn't even use a GPS, so it doesn't decipher where you are. It's just like, here's the virtual area. But in the trailer, we saw Disney Worlds. We saw Tangled. I think we saw Arendelle, and we saw the World of Darkness from Point 2. So how do they tie in? Are they like, oh, these are the distant memories of these worlds, or these are simulations of these worlds?
Yeah, because it's like, how does that mesh with the real world application of it? And it's like, maybe they just theme the world, like your environment around where you're at. Like in a situation where it's like in the story, your character goes to Corona from Tangled and is there, but in the game, in like the gameplay element of it, it just themes your map to look like Tangled, but it's still like your streets and your town.
True, because when we did see those environments, there were fight scenes. So it might be like Pokemon, to where you walk around, like you said, maybe a themed area, and then when you encounter a Heartless, you go into the battle arena. To like the forest from Arendelle or the snowfield from Corona or Arendelle, whatever. I always get those two mixed up.
And also, like, I think it also could be like a simulation type thing. And to mesh those 2 points together, it could be similar to Chain of Memories. You go into a floor, and it's still just a floor in Castle Oblivion, and the design of the room is based on what card you play. So if you play a specific, like if you play the save room card, that's going to be built the same no matter what world you're in, but it's themed after what world you're in.
I can see that. So what you're saying is
you want... it could be similar to that.
So what you're saying is you want cards back.
I think we're going to get them, regardless of what anybody wants. But that's another
But no, that's a good idea. Because what I was going to say before is, it's another thing that kind of ties it back to KH4, because we have no idea how the world system is going to work in KH4. Because as far as we know, it takes place in Shibuya, and that's like maybe the hub world. But like, how are we gonna get it? Because there are Disney worlds at Kingdom Hearts 4. We know this. So how are we gonna get there? Are they simulations, or are they like, is Star Wars like right outside Shibuya, like their next door neighbors? Like, is there a gummy ship system? We don't know. So that's another thing. Weirdly, this game, and more we talk about it, ties into the uncertainty of this game, ties into the uncertainty of KH4.
Yeah.
Damn. Battles, treasure boxes will require AP. Okay, so like, I guess like their magic system, to where to cast, or to give this medal, because they're using medals instead of like, or they're using like trophies instead. Because what we saw from the trailer, it was like trophies instead of like medals. Yeah. To attack.
I think this specific line makes it actually sound like the AP is like an energy system. Yeah. Like in some of those mobile games where it's like, oh, sorry, you can't play right now. You have to wait 3 hours to get more energy to do another battle or whatever. Like, I think it's maybe like that. And maybe that'll be part of the gacha too, where it's like, sorry, you can't progress because you don't have any energy left today unless you want to give us $20 and then you can keep playing.
You receive AP from battles. So it might be like you gotta manage it, maybe. Yeah, a little confusing, but again, this is like a brief synopsis, probably not the whole thing. And of course, it has beta schedules. Who the fuck is about that? We don't live in Japan, and it's not, and we can't go back in time to play in January. So that was the main thing I found interesting from my research on. This is just like talking about the customations and stuff. Yeah, it looks okay. It's giving Pokemon.
It does look like kind of like a mix between the 0.2 and the Union Cross customization.
And you probably can buy clothes too, because it's a gacha. Come on, yeah.
Oh, definitely.
And that's the one thing if I were to play this game, I might not show money for, but grind for. Like, I want this hat in blue.
Yeah, that was like the part of the Union Cross that I was like more into. Was just like outside of the story. It was like, oh, cool, I can make my guy look like Roxas. Awesome. Oh, I can put the organization cloak on him. Cool. Let's do it.
That would break canon, not allowed.
Oh yeah, Canon's destroyed that. Yeah, when I pull up and fight, when my character's dressed like Kingdom Hearts 2 Mickey, and I fight Master Ava in the fucking that Canon destroyed.
Listen, what's more important, lore or our enjoyment? Lore.
Our enjoyment.
Lore.
Oh.
I'm from Nomura's mind. I think lore.
Yes.
He doesn't give a fuck if we understand it. He will tease us that we don't understand it and can't get it. It's his fun, so his fun is including the lore. He doesn't give a fuck about how much we enjoy it because we're suckers. So yeah, I think we touch upon a lot, unless you want to talk about anything else.
I think that covers it. I mean, I think, I don't know. Again, hopefully we hear something soon. I think I think January would be the time to look for it.
Just like another year after the beta?
It's a year after the beta. Well, I don't know when else would even make sense to, like, hear anything about it. Like, that's just is the only thing that I would think we would get any more news about it. Really.
Yeah, unless there's another Cage event coming up, I'm not quite sure about. Because they kind of sneak up on me. I don't think they're going to have a 21st anniversary. I don't know. Kingdom Hearts Day is, like, around April. So maybe we'll get a release around that time. Well,
could be.
Because we still have no announcement for when it's going to come out. But I think it's usually with a phone game, they'll announce that shit same day. Like, oh, Kingdom Hearts Missing Link trailer. Play it now. Please. Play it now.
Yeah, or it'll be really close to it when it...
Yeah, like the next day or next week.
Yeah, or next...
Because there's no way how you can announce something like this. We wait a year or two, and then we get the trailer and wait another year or two.
Yeah, no, that's
not gonna happen. It's not Kingdom Hearts 3. You can't get us again. Especially with a
maybe
phone
that's
game.
Part of, like... Maybe that's part of why it seems like it's taken so long, because, like, I mean, certainly, I mean, you know, it's been over a year now, but, you know, with 3, obviously we waited a while for 3, but the back half of the wait of the production time, or whatever you want to call it, for 3, it felt like we were getting like 2 trailers a year.
Yeah.
So we are constantly getting new stuff for it, so, like, in this, like, we're not going to get that, you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, I think you're right, like, they're pretty much going to drop another trailer probably, and then it's going to come out within a couple weeks.
They'll drop one more trailer explaining everything we just kind of went over, the battle system, the costumes, to sell people on it. Because the first trailer didn't sell us on it. The first trailer was an announcement CG trailer that showed some gameplay, but was very vague and didn't explain anything. So we're going to have one more trailer to really sell us on it, and then say, play it now, play it tomorrow, sometime soon, to not lose the hype. Because once they have a trailer coming out, the hype will come back, and they can't lose it again.
No.
We have deciphered the mystery of Missing Link.
Oh hell yeah!
And I'm still not gonna play it. It was nice to talk about it though. We can talk about it once it's done. And when you play it, and you're poor and destitute, spending all your money on hats, you can come back and be like, "Oh, it was cool. We got this story. I'm living out of my garage, but you know, we got this story. That's pretty cool." Luciu is Sora's mom. I don't know.
So, wait, so you're telling me you're not giving me a budget to spend on Missing Link jewels?
I will not feed an addiction.
Damn. Okay, that's fair. That's okay. I guess that makes sense.
Okay, you know what? There's a budget for if we do have to go to Shibuya for a special event, we will do that.
Okay.
That's what the budget's for.
Sure.
No gotcha bullshit, alright? Luckily Dark Road to do that, because I would have to give you money to get through Dark Road. I would have made you fucking work for that shit. If I was paying you, you would have to be on that shit 24/7.
Yeah, we'll have a live feed of Missing Link just going on.
You know it'd be fun, like on TikTok, to where it's a video, but it has like fucking Subway Surfer underneath. It's our video, and then our autoplay of fucking Missing Link on the bottom, so we get to zoom our attention span. We've cracked the code.
Yeah, that's the fun.
Now I want it to come out.
Hell yeah.
More viewer retention means better analytics. And you know what else means better analytics? Winning KH Award by all of you voting in the description below. Please make our dreams come true. And we've only been doing this for 3
years?
Ever since like 2020, like mid-pandemic.
Yeah.
And look how far we've come.
Yeah, we've made a couple tier lists.
We made tier lists.
Multiple.
We made multiple tier lists, reactions, theory videos. What else could we have done? What are we missing? We're missing a Let's Play.
We're missing Link.
We're missing Link. Goodbye, everybody.